Yep. So next up, this since we were talking about Dr. Dre and Snoop are coming out with a new album together. And they were on Stephen A. Smith's show. And I'm surprised Dre said this out in public because Dre don't really talk out in public about stuff. And he was very, very upset. I felt like with this. And he talks about how he doesn't like a whole bunch of producers on an album. And then there was a little bit of backlash, and we'll talk about that in a second.
The fact that there's like 9 different producers on one album. I like the idea of one producer on one album. The continuity is everything.
Yeah, where did that come from? Where did it come from where you got cats that want to be with 9 different producers on one album and stuff like that? When the hell did that start?
I don't know.
Just before we continue, did y'all see Snoop just ash out just on the random floor? Not in like a ashtray. He ashed out on the floor.
Because fuck it. That's why.
That's the first time I've seen this. I mean, I'm not the first time I've seen this, but I didn't trip off that. He just literally went over this ash on the side.
Because fuck it. That's why.
No, I don't know, but I don't like it. You know, if you're a producer, you should be able to produce the entire album. That's what I thought it was supposed to be.
Right.
That's what I was doing at the beginning.
There's a lot of beat makers though, Doc. That's what the difference between your era and this era is, that there aren't too many producers as much as there are beat makers. It's so easy to make beats. They're giving you all these computer package that has the drum loop, y'all had to make the loop.
I feel like it's a change that's happening right now, you know, from all this mumble rap thing and everything that's happening right now. There's somebody in somebody's garage that's happening right now that's going to be the next Snoop or Dre or next Prince or Michael Jackson or whatever that's coming.
All right. So some people, Diamond D, the beginning of the Crazy Crew said, why is Dre even talking about all this stuff when most of his production is up for questioning that other people produced it?
The Scott Storches and
DJ Quick, Das, you know, but that's not what this discussion is. Diamond D just jumped out on that, but then a lot of people are saying they agree with Dre that people do need to have a cohesive. Metro Boomin agreed with them, which is interesting. He's a younger gentleman, and he was like, "Yeah, we do that."
That's really basically what Metro Boomin been on.
But that's and then I realized I was like, "Oh, that's exactly what he does. He don't really just be throwing tracks out there. He's like, either you doing a fucking whole album with me or not."
Like if Young Metro don't trust you, he ain't working with you.
I think that's the point of having an album, is to have that cohesion. You're not just throwing out a single, you're throwing out a cohesive album. So as somebody who watches Project Runway, right? One of the biggest things that they talk about, the final challenge is for them to present at New York Fashion Week, and you have to create a collection of clothes that is a cohesive collection of things. Or even if they have a group challenge or whatever, everybody making their own clothes, but it has to still be cohesive. And if you have all these different people working on an album, is there going to be that cohesion? Now, if it's a team of producers, like if that's, if you got if it's Neptunes or something like that, hey, that's on them. They already have their cohesion. They're going to bring it to you, but you shouldn't have, your album should tell a story. Like it should tell one whole, one story. It should be a collection of short stories that come to one whole thing, not 7 different books. Like, wait, what is this book about? What's this book about? This book different. It's a horror story. It's Stephen King right here, but this one, like it's Judy Blume. I don't understand what the hell this album's doing. So, I think to Snoop's point, they are beat makers rather than people who are actual producers and who understand what production is. And for all hate him or love him, Sean Combs is not a beat maker, but he's a producer, and he understands what it takes to put an album together and how to create a cohesive project and package it and put it out there. So that's that difference of how that goes. And I think we look at production differently in hip hop than we do in the way the other genres look at it.
And I think that because I was trying to think, I was like, what was like the first time it was like an assortment of producers? The first time, I think the thing that started it was low key, it was Nas's first album. because Nas, his whole thing was like all these different producers wanted to work with him on his one album. He was the golden child. It was everybody on. You had Q-Tip on there. You had Pete Rock. You had Large Professor.
Premier.
Yeah, that's like one of which is one of the first albums where it was just like all these guys wanted to be a part of this, but it kind of went on steroids from there, and it was like, oh well, everyone needs to have multiple different producers on the album. But if you look at some of the best albums, sans that, and maybe it's a few other ones, most of them have one producer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most of them have one producer throughout that. Even some of Nas' best stuff lately has been all with Hit Boy, where it's like, yo, I'm locking in with
Hit Boy.
Yeah, I'm locking in with him and just getting this off.
None of Jay-Z albums have just one producer. He has multiple on pretty much all his albums.
Yeah.
I'm literally sitting here thinking about this, right? And I'm thinking about watching fucking Black Album or Fade to Black and watching him with Pharrell, watching him with Kanye, watching him with Timberland, watching him pick the beats and go through all of that. And I'm like, so now but
I will give the Blueprint a little change up though on y'all with this. All those producers were in his camp at least at that time for Blueprint. They were all Rockefeller signees.
Except, well, he had two beats we had one with Eminem and one with Dre. Those were
right. But everybody else was in Rockefeller.
Kanye and Just Blaze.
Right. So is that count? I guess if everybody's in your camp, because you kind of can control the sound if everybody is in your group.
And then all his best albums.
Yeah.
Define who's in my camp.
You're signed to Rockefeller.
Basically, Just Blaze and Kanye.
And Just Blaze. Not Just Blaze and Young Guru.
Okay, so all right. All right, so fine. So those are in-house producers.
Yep.
Fine. Now, so cool. All right. I'm just double checking some stuff because it's with Snoop not liking it. I'm just looking at how many people were on some of his albums.
Oh yeah, I mean besides what Doggy Style, he's got a assortment. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Daz and
Dre. Maybe No Limit. No Limit. A lot of beats about a pound.
Well, so on Rhythm and Gangsta, The Alchemist, Neptunes, Baby Dub, Superfly, Mr. Porter, Ron Browz, LT Hutton, High Tech.
Look at the Ron Browz era that we didn't need.
Yeah, I'm jumping out the
window. Oh man, I hate it. Oh my god, I hate the Ron Browz era.
He did Did he do the Ether beat?
He did the Ether beat, but he didn't. I'm talking about him on hooks.
His songs was terrible. I hated that Ron Browz era, man.
Oh man, it was like a 6 month to a year period that before when we was outside, 07, 08?
Close to a year.
Yeah.
Waka Flocka kind of got him out of there. Waka Flocka and Young Dro kind of got him up out
that Ron Browz.
Oh, wait. Pop Champagne is him?
Ron Browz.
Yeah, the dude with the auto-tune. He had the auto-tune voice.
I don't know who the hell people are, but the song, fucking Brandon fucking loved Pop Champagne. It was a fucking ringtone on his phone. If people called him, he wouldn't answer because the song would be playing and he'd be jamming to the song. Answer the goddamn phone. So I fuck Pop Champagne. That song show me nuts. I'm like, oh my god.
Ron Browz had a little 1 year run.
Yeah, like where he was like on everything, man. It was mostly
A-Rab money.
What was it? The A-Rab money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spending A-Rab money.
The fact that was allowed.
Yeah, I know. And did y'all see remember the video?
I didn't see the video.
Oh, we couldn't do that. Look, it's a whole bunch of guys in turbans and stuff like throwing up money.
Like they in the desert.
Yes. And like in a back. Oh man.
Yeah, it was wild. 2009 was crazy.
No, that's 8. So Ron Browz had all 8. I'm looking it up now. So he had 2008. He ain't got nothing we know after 08.
Because you know what? I noticed when he started, he was like the hip hop version of the Dream. That's what he kind of reminded me of.
Yes.
Because he dressed like him too.
The East Coast Dream. He's the East Coast Dream.
Yeah, man. They wear the hats and the blazers.
Yep. And look, all these songs that were popping with all East Coast artists. So like I said, he was a regional thing that kind of jumped off.
Big in New York. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, now I will give him props. He did do Ebonics by Big L, which is one of my favorite Big L songs. He did Ether.
Yeah. The Nine.
Oh, he did a few joints. But he got some good production joints. Is this when he start putting himself on the records is when it got out there bad.
Yeah, man. You need to just sit down, just make them beats.
Yeah, man. So do y'all I mean, as we wrap up with this one, are y'all excited about this Snoop Dr. Dre album? I believe they just dropped a single too. You're not at all, Stacey?
I'm just ready to listen to it when it come out.
We'll see what happens. I'm not.
Yeah.
Hey, this cool ass Scott from the I Love 90s Music Podcast. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like it on the SOLC Network. You finna get all the real deal on the 90s, the 2000s, and the splash of that 80s. Do it right now, man, and I'll be your friend.